So I'm north of Dallas in Richardson, Texas, at a healthcare workers retreat. And this is car troubles part 3, y'all. And actually, I should probably say it's not really car troubles, it's tire issues part 3. And I just think it's funny now. So I'm wondering, because car issues part 2 was when I was at a retreat, right? That was in Waco. And now I'm over here in 2 hours and 20 minutes. That's how long it took me to get here this morning. And about 40 minutes before getting to my destination, the tire pressure light comes on. But it was smooth sailing. So I thought, but I don't know what that is. So when I get near my destination, because I didn't want to be late, I stop at a gas station. Tire pressure, they took my 250 for air, so I paid that money. And then I checked, thank goodness for this thing right here. I realized now, I learned the second time that I need to use this. So I use this and I'm like, behold, there was this back tire over here. That culprit right there is low. It's at 20 instead of 32 like the rest of them. So I paid the money. I put the air in there. Check it, same thing. I did that several times, and then I realized, I realized once I paid the money that this is a bootleg setup with this air. And I thought, okay, maybe it's the machine. It's not, the air is not going in there. So I go to the retreat. It started at 9 a.m. I was there, 5 minutes early, which is good. Got me some breakfast. Great retreat, great people, great house. Retreat house over here. Great property. Anyway, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna let me check the tire again before I go, just to see where it's at, and maybe somehow, I don't know, it's back lined up like the rest of them. It's fine. Somehow maybe something wrong with this thing, it worked on all three, and that one, I don't know. I check it and now it's at 10 psi. I'm like, okay. And then when I take it, I just look at the tire, look closely at the tire, and you'll see. What is that thing right there? It is a screw. A screw is in the tire. And so I'm like picking at it. I'm thinking, maybe I'll just pluck it out. And then I stopped myself. I'm like, no. Then, no. So I didn't pluck it out, but I was like, oh, filling this up with air ain't gonna work. I need to actually replace it. Now, if you know from Car Troubles Part 1 video, I did, after getting my first flat tire, that was after a hospice visit where I was but I was sort of, in my mind, sort of encouraging this woman whose husband was probably going to die soon. And I'm thinking in my mind, reach out for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help to people other than, like, of course we ask God for help, but I was thinking in my mind, like, ask others for help. Then I get a flat tire, to which I did not want to ask anyone for help. And I realized, wait, I was just putting that on her. I never said that, but in my mind I was thinking, reach out, tell people. And here I am in need, and I did not want to tell a soul. So thus, God works through me through these experiences, y'all. So here I am, car tire troubles part 3. And I do have a spare now. The first time I didn't, remember, if you saw that video. I did not have a spare. Now I have a spare. It's a brand new, what do you call it? It's not a hubcap, but the thing that goes in the middle of the tire. That's new, but the tire itself is old. It's one of the other ones. But I replaced so I bought 4 new tires. They're on the car. And so this new tire right here got a screw in it. And then one of the old tires that's now placed on this new, I don't know, you call it wheel? It's in there. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, I did order a kit to, jack it up and all that stuff. But then I realized, I have never changed a tire before. And I'm feeling shame because you were in the military for 12 years. You used to ride 5-ton trucks and do PMCSs, PCMS. I don't remember. This is a long time ago. But anyway, regularly to check the vehicle out. But I never had to change it. It just hasn't been in my experience. And so here I am. So I look at the kit and I'm like, there's no instruction kit in here. But anyway, I'm like, okay, I finally, after not that long, maybe like 10 minutes of wrestling with myself, texting husband, hey, send him a picture, this screw. And he's like, is that the new tire? Yes, it's the new tire. Call USA. It's like, nah, I should be able to do this. Anyway, I walked myself up back to the retreat house and asked staff. I walked through 2 guys who were standing there talking by the door. I walked through them to the staff, or they're not staff, they're volunteers. But anyway, I figured I didn't want to be sexist. Is this sexist? Like assuming that they're guys, they should know how to change a tire and that they would want to change a stranger's tire. Like I didn't want to impose. I didn't want to put that on them. So I didn't ask them. I went to the staff. She was like, I never changed his tire, which is fine. So you should ask them. I was like, I didn't want to. So I fine. I'll go ask, just, I don't know. I don't need them to do it. I just need them to watch me to make sure it doesn't fall over or something. So I walk out and they're like talking to each other in the parking lot now. And I'm like, okay. So I walk. But I said, and then I say to God, I'm like, God, if they're still there, when I get there, I'll ask. Well, when I get closer, they both go to their cars. So I'm like, okay. And I could have knocked on the door or made a motion, but I'm like, no. So I lifted up the trunk of my car and was back there for a while. I'm like, maybe they'll come out. Nope. They left. It's not their fault. I mean, I just didn't want to ask again. But I did ask, but I didn't ask them. Anyway, next thing, I open up the kit again, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. And I'm messing with the jack.
Picture you in this cute little green car.
Oh, thank you. Yep, this is it. Bye-bye.
Bye, honey.
I don't want to worry her. She thinks I'm on the phone, which is fine. Which I am on the phone. I'm using up all my precious 19% battery, which I should not be using my battery doing this, but I just, anyway. So I try myself to do this. I was like, I'm gonna learn how to do this. I should be able to do this. It can't be that hard. And I get this flimsy kit out. And I put the hub cap thing on there. I don't know what it is. You stick it on the screw that holds the tires in place. And I'm trying to loosen it. I've tried both ways. It is not loosened. You know how they use machine tighteners when you get a tire? They did that, and I can't get it off. So now I have to call roadside assistance, which I did. And they said it'll be between 59 minutes to 89 minutes. And here I am, just sitting here in the parking lot. That's all right. That's what it is. Just want to say it's car troubles, tire troubles, part 3 at another retreat. And maybe God's trying to tell me something.